I am going to show you my content creation process. So from when I get the idea until how I create it and edit it until it's done. The first thing is I already have some saved in some collections where there are all my content ideas. I already know what I want to create. So everything is planned, right? So what I do sometimes, I have a couple of tools. I also use the and when I look at to my own target audience. So what are the pain points, the goals? I also can look at like what other big creators are posting. I can look at like the Reels tab, right? So I have another account which is dedicated to this, where I follow a couple of people in my target audience, the big creators in my niche. Then I can look at like what Instagram is proposing me as content. Then I can see what type of content is working good in my niche. But essentially, I already have what kind of I want to create. So I know it's this one right here. Boom. So the thing about that is like I already have my content idea and I know what I'm going to put. It's not and it's like I'm not going to copy that content, of course. What I just want to do is use that sound, right? So it's going to be the base somewhat. So this is, for example, a sound. Because where I was looking for the sound and I wasn't finding it, and this is where I found it, but it's not as a Instagram sound. So what I want is to use that sound, so download that video so I can use the sound. Essentially, so first thing is I'm gonna go right here, and essentially you can also like some of those reels work really good. What you can do is just like replicate the formula, and then also what you want to change a couple things. You want to copy and paste, but you can replicate the formula, or you can like just mix up two. As like you see one that worked good, that was like similar style, and the other one that worked good, similar style. You can, let's say, take the content of the one and take the editing style of the other one. You mix both, and you have like a content that works good. So I'll take the link. I go into Snap Insta, paste it right here. I download it. Same time, I'm going to open CapCut. And so I have footage, of course, of myself that I'm recording. So throughout my day, I have footage that I recorded by myself. And what I do is I just send it to myself to my laptop. So I have on the CapCut space, there's spaces where you can send yourself. So when you can put the CapCut content on that space at like 5 giga, and then you can like just download it back. So those spaces. So for example, I go on my phone, I put some content in that space, and I can go on my laptop and go in that space and edit the footage I'm going to use. I think I saw personally you can create as much as you want. I see, but you cannot go over past 5 giga, or then it's like it starts to get paid, right? You can go for free until 5 giga. All right. So now I'm going to the space that I use. Even though 5 giga is way more than enough. Right there. Okay, so I have it right here. So I send myself already the footage. Now I know what footage I'm going to use to edit, which is this one. And then now I can just like go on and create the content from that footage. And right here you can see create a space, or essentially you have it on the. I think it's also you can also do it on the phone, but essentially you want to edit the big footage you want to edit on the laptop. It's way faster and way easier. So then what you can do is you create a space and you link it so you have the same email. So you have the same email account, right? I have the same email account from CapCut, then from my phone into my laptop. Then essentially they both, the space appears on both, and then you can just go transition yourself some content. So open that one. There you go. Now I'm going to take the video with the sound. And this sound, I'm going to use it as an overlay, where it's going to be exactly just like, so on the laptop it's different, right? You have two footage. On the phone you can use it as overlay, where it's essentially it's just going to be over it, and you're just going to so you can like then lower the opacity to 0 where you don't see the video, you just have the sound. So here's how it goes. My text I want to use is don't celebrate if you have nothing to celebrate. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is grab a text and go write it down so I have it together. And those ones are really easy to create. Right? So this is one thing, like, so you have those talking videos, and those ones is where you can also like share value, or you can also share your opinions, your beliefs, what are things that like you believe in, and then those people, the same people who believe in this, will connect with you. Don't Now I'm thinking either I do don't celebrate if I have nothing to celebrate, if you have nothing to celebrate, or if you have nothing to celebrate, don't celebrate. And I'm going to the other one. If you have nothing to celebrate, don't celebrate. And I think what I'm going to do is, since I post on TikTok and Instagram, so on TikTok it's not really such a big thing, right? I just have like, I think 2,300 followers. I just post just to keep on posting. But what you can do now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to post it on TikTok as like this one: if you have nothing to celebrate, don't celebrate. Then I'm going to go on TikTok and I'm going to change it: don't celebrate if you have nothing to celebrate. So I can test both, right? I can see what phrasing works better. So let's go right here. What you're going to do is there is a drop, and what you want to do is on the drop you cut it. Right? So there is like a moment where the video cuts and there's another video comes in. Now you want to cut at that time, so you know where the cut is. You can put the other videos. You have them. Essentially, it's a winning formula, this content. Now you can replicate a winning formula. Okay, hold on. Right there. Right there. Boom. So I don't know what type of footage I want to use where. So for example, I think, so the one I'm going to use, which is not going to be this one can get deleted. I'm going to use this one right here at the beginning. It's going to be the other one at the end. So now what I'm going to do is going to load up opacity of this one. I know where the cut is. Going to blend opacity to 0. I come back. I can raise back the sound here. What you can do also, so on some, I'm going to show you this afterwards. You don't have to like remove the sound of those videos that you have. So it can sometimes sounds really good. I'm going to show you an example. I create some of this content, and on some times where I show myself boxing, I leave the boxing sound, and now it sounds really good, right? You have the sound with the sound of the punch. For example, maybe this one. By the way, the writing, so the typo that you're going to use, you want to keep it, right? So you can use it to choose a couple ones for different messaging. For example, this one is more value, delivering value. This one is more somewhat of a quote, just like that. As you can see right here, I left the sound. Sounds really good, right? As like just something that just with the music. it sounds somewhat better. But essentially, with the typo, you want to use the same for the same messaging. So this one is different content type than this one, and this one is the same content type as this one. So I use the same messaging. For example, another one would be this one. Exactly, you hear the boxing sound, right? Especially on this one, it works pretty good. Especially with the sound, like, so with the music also, if it's good. So you can sometimes leave the sound of it, or just lower it, and see if it works good or not. All right. Now I'm just gonna cut to the right, so this time, boom, delete that one. Now see how it goes right here. Like, is it what I want? Is it looking like what I want? Or maybe you have to. Exactly, it does look so. Okay, boom. Now I can go right here. I can, I don't know, for example, I like more so on this footage, I've used this, you've used it already 1 or 2 times. You want to overuse the footage, then it's like, it looks boring, people are going to see the same thing every single time. You also, for Instagram, so what you want to do is like, you can use it 1, 2 times, then you want to switch it. You just live your life and you just record footage, and then you're gonna have footage, unlimited footage. You're working, you can record it. Doing boxing, you can record it. You can running, you can record it. You don't need a long period. You can just like 1 minute 30 seconds. And in 1 minute, you have like on a 10-second video like this, you have like 6 footage. That's coming back here. Not so bad of a life. Definitely not so bad of a life. It's definitely what we're looking to do. Go to Thailand, find more time. Okay, so right now I have my footage. Now we're gonna see how it goes. It only lags a little bit, right? Okay. All right. So we have this done. Now what we're going to do is going to add the text. I guess text is. You want to keep the. If you add a text to a clip and you remove the clip, the text is removed too. I'm going to add a text again. If you have nothing to celebrate for, don't celebrate. Now also for the typo, in the beginning you can test, right? So you can see what works the best for you, what you like the most. You can essentially, it's not a problem for a couple of first footage, you are testing different typos, for example, Sarah or Unbounded. Then once you find the one that you like, then you can stick to it. But essentially you want to stick to it afterwards, once you find it. All right, and so this one I like to edit it usually on my phone, the size of the footage, because I see on the phone, so like phone level, what it looks like. So I can use this one. or the other one was unbounded. This one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the effects of this video now. So the text I'll leave it for my phone. I like to edit this on my phone so that it's more like a replicating tool what people are going to see, which is they use their phone. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit so adjusting how it looks like, and I'm going to send it back to my phone, and I'm going to finish the editing. So just the writing, put it in the center, and then with like a small shadow, and I'm going to be able to send it to post the content. So right here I go. So first thing I go, it's exposure, I think. That's what it does. Oh, yeah. Exactly, exposure. So exposure, you want to look, so some content you want to just lower to like 8. Other ones you want to lower really a lot. So right now I see the lighting is, it's like, there is the lighting right here, and it's also going shining on my head. So I'm going to lower, for example, like 30. I'm going for the contrast. I'm going to raise the contrast. Not too much, because then I look like a redhead, right? Like, it's not what you want to look like. What you want to do is somewhat 7, right? And so like lower a bit the exposure, raise a little bit of contrast, depending on what you want to, how you want the video to look like. Ideally, like it's like a lower lower exposure and like so like more of exposure than and less of contrast, right? Because then like the contrast makes you look more red, and what you want is a more dark aesthetic. Then so the shadows you don't need it, right? So the shadows one thing you don't need this, right? It's like you can use it, but it's like it's not one ideal one. What you want is just now you don't want to add shadows. You want to have like the tone that is a bit darker. And I can go to saturation a little bit, lower a little bit. So essentially the colors are gonna like it's gonna lose a bit of color. Just like that. And then okay, now I'm gonna check. Okay, so I'm gonna raise a little bit exposure, lower a little bit of contrast. There are some brilliance you can use. Okay, and then once you get to somewhat good, like you don't need to get directly that dark aesthetic. Once you get somewhat good, you can go to, I think it's opacity. It's opacity. Lower the opacity a little bit. There you go. Now you have something that looks better. Now what you can do is going to replicate to the other ones. So those ones, these ones are not going to appear because they have 0% opacity. They just cannot show up. They just the video is like just out. Now what you can do is go to the second one. You don't have to do the same thing since like it's not the same lighting. As you can see right here, so the light, it's like the light is now on my back. The light's coming from the face, and it's like right here. Here's like half my face, which is more light than the other one. On this one, it's equal. So you don't need to lower that much the exposure. Right, as you can see right here, it tells me to red meat, to a redhead, or yeah, red meat also. You can also use highlights, so highlights can lower it. Okay. a little bit of saturation. And you don't want to add things. So you don't want to like, for example, you lower the exposure and you see it doesn't really good. It's not really good. So you raise the highlights. What you want to do is just lower, but like raise back the exposure. You cannot really save one thing with the other one. I'm gonna just find like the right one for. So like the right number for these ones. It's not that complicated, but just want to just like look and check out how it looks. Okay. And so since now the light is coming from my face or facing me, and it's more equal, you can play more on those ones. So as you can see, I played more. There is more of like exposure, and I added highlights. I load the highlights than the other one, right? So it's like essentially it's like the light is not that intense, and so it's not gonna play a lot when you lower just a little bit. Alright, so now we got this. Now I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna send it to the other space, and I'm just gonna finish just end up doing the writing to my on my phone, and it's gonna be able to post it. I'm gonna show you how I can send it to the space. So right here, we go on to, I think it's already done. I'm gonna go to home, and it's this one. So right here, so I think so it's already done since I had the cloud, but you can just go like double click, so right click, go to upload. You can go to choose your space. I choose this one. So this one want to transfer video. I go on this one and I upload it. This took 23 minutes for one content, and then it takes less time when I don't explain it. I hope that video is useful for you, and I'll see you next time.